So, you're ready to make a change, but man, it just feels so overwhelming, right? Well, you're in exactly the right place. We're about to dig into how one tiny little habit, when you do it consistently, can absolutely transform your life. Let's jump right in. You know this feeling, don't you? This pressure that we all have, this idea that to get where we want to go, we've got to make some massive, dramatic change practically overnight. We're always waiting for that perfect moment or that huge burst of motivation. But what if that whole approach is just wrong? Okay, so this slide just lays it all out. On one side, you have the common belief, these big, exciting leaps. And yeah, they look great, but more often than not, they're just a recipe for burnout. But the other side, the simple truth, that's where the real magic happens. It's not about one huge decision, it's about the hundreds of tiny little actions you take, day in and day out. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on. So let's talk about that secret weapon, shall we? Your habits. These are the small, consistent things you do that end up shaping your entire lifestyle, your mindset, even your future. They're the real foundation for building a more disciplined, more peaceful life. It's such a simple definition, but it's so powerful. A habit is just something you do so often that it becomes automatic. You don't have to force yourself to do it anymore. It just happens. It becomes your default setting. And that's exactly where all its power comes from. And here's the thing, you're already an expert at this. I mean, think about it. Do you have to put brush my teeth on your to-do list? Of course not. It's automatic. Same thing with grabbing that first glass of water or checking your phone. We're all creatures of habit. The only goal here is to get a little more intentional about which habits we're actually building. Okay, so why is this such a big deal? Well, for one, when something's automatic, it saves you a ton of brain power for other things. It also creates real consistency in your life without you having to rely on motivation, which, let's be honest, comes and goes. And maybe most importantly, over time, these habits literally build your character. A person who reads every day becomes more knowledgeable. A person who moves their body every day becomes healthier. You literally become what you repeatedly do. All right, so hopefully you're on board with the why. Now let's get into the how. And don't worry, this isn't some super complicated program. It's a simple, actionable plan you can start pretty much the moment this is over. Here's the 4-step plan. First, choose one tiny habit. And I mean tiny. Instead of read an hour a day, try just one page. Step 2, link it. Attach your new tiny habit to something you already do, like doing 5 stretches right after you brush your teeth. 3, track it. You would not believe how motivating it is to just put a check mark on a calendar. And finally, the most important step of all, be patient with yourself. This stuff takes time. I really want this to sink in. This is the whole secret right here. Reading one single page every single day is infinitely more powerful than trying to read a whole book once a month. It's the consistency that actually rewires your brain and builds momentum. So please don't worry about how big the action is. Just focus on doing it again and again. Now, let's be real. Life happens. You're gonna miss a day. It's inevitable. The trap so many of us fall into is we aim for perfection, and the second we have one off day, we just quit. So what do we do instead? I really want you to absorb this message. Missing one day is not failure. It's just normal. It's part of the process. The only rule you need to follow is this: never miss twice. That's it. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is just to get right back on track the very next day. That's how you build a habit that actually lasts. I love this quote because it just paints the perfect picture, doesn't it? Your tiny little habit is that seed. Your daily consistency, that's the water and the sunlight. You're not going to see a giant tree overnight, but with just a little patience and care, that tiny seed is absolutely going to grow into something strong and amazing. All right, we've gone over the what, the why, and the how. We've even talked about how to handle those inevitable setbacks. So now it's time to go from just learning about this to actually doing it. I've got a challenge for you, and it starts right now. I'm totally serious. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. What is one tiny, almost laughably small action you can commit to? Could it be drinking one extra glass of water, reading a single page of that book on your nightstand, doing just one push-up? Go ahead, decide on your one thing right now. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. It might feel like it's just one tiny habit, but I want you to remember what you're really doing. You're laying the very first brick for a whole new lifestyle. And that lifestyle, built one small habit at a time, is what will ultimately shape your destiny. Your future self is waiting. Go take that first small step.